Namaste, Dr. Tyagarajan, for that generous introduction. I'm really happy to be back addressing the participants and students and the respected professors, faculty who have gathered here. Thanks also to Professor Dr. Venugopalanji, who considered me worthy enough to deal with this topic. And so with these, I commence my talk here. I'll start with a Vedic invocation as I do. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Virjankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vedic ideas for national reconstruction. This indeed is a very timely, topical theme that has been given to me in this occasion. And then what more could be an occasion to think about national reconstruction? When, what more appropriate time we could think about this, about national reconstruction, when Bhagavan Rama has returned to Ayodhya. And of course, in his address during the Rama Prana Pratisthapana, our beloved, respected Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also mentioned that this is a momentous occasion, a civilizational occasion where the Yuga Chakra is going to change. And of course, that indicated national reconstruction. And Rama exemplifies a very ideal state of governing a country. We see in the final portion of Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana, we see Naparyadevan Vidhava, Nachavyala Kritam Bhayam, Navyadhijam Bhayam Chasit, Rame Rajyam Prashasati. When Rama was ruling, there was no fear for any component of the society, any participant or any entity of the society. Sarvam muditamevasi, sarvo dharmaparo bhavat, ramamevanu nabhyahimsan parasparam. There was no mutual tormenting of each other, no violence was there. Everyone was living in harmony, and then everyone was doing his duty, her duty. Sarvo dharmaparo bhavat. Asan varsha sahasrani tatha putra sahasrinaha niramaya vishokascha rame rajyam prashasati. Everyone was free from various kinds of illnesses, and social evils were not there, and no one was sorrow stricken when Rama was healing. So hence Rama's rule exemplifies an ideal nation rooted in its own culture and civilization. So hence, this indeed is a momentous occasion to think about national reconstruction. It has come at a very appropriate, opportune moment to think about national reconstruction. And there is one more reason as to why this is an appropriate time to deal with national reconstruction. This topic of national reconstruction assumes more importance because, again, we are in the Amrita Kala. So, as the participants may be aware, during 2021, during his 75th Independence Day speech, our beloved Prime Minister said that 75th year is Amrita Mahotsav. From 75th year of our independence to the 100th year of independence, that 25 years is golden years. That is Amrita Kala. And then, so what is expected in the Amrita Kala? It is national reconstruction. In essence, if you have to capture what he intended by his address, our aspiration society has waited for a long time, but now they are not ready to force their future generations to live in wait, and hence first dawn of this Amrita Kala has brought a huge golden opportunity for us to fulfill the aspirations of that aspiration society. So hence this is again going both on the Rama's return to Ayodhya, and also we are in the period of Amrita Kala. This is indeed an opportune moment to think about national reconstruction. And in the same speech, our Prime Minister also elucidates what is the Pancha Prana of Amrita Kala. Means what is the essence, what do we need to work on in the period of Amrita Kala towards national reconstruction. He says, and I quote, the Pancha Prana of Amrita Kala, goal of developed India to remove any trace of colonial mindset, take pride in our roots, unity and sense of duty among citizens. I urge the countrymen to start the Amrita Kala today by nurturing new possibilities, realizing new resolutions and moving ahead with confidence. This Amrita Mahotsava of freedom has moved in the direction of Amrita Kala. Therefore, Sabka Prayas is necessary in this Amrita Kala. So, 2 points come through this quotation. One thing is, in this Amrita Kala, in the context of national reconstruction, as mentioned by the Honorable Prime Minister, to remove any trace of colonial mindset. So, in the context of India becoming a developed nation through the national reconstruction, it is not through the trodden path of the colonial leftovers or the vestiges of the colonial rule. We should reach our goal of national reconstruction and reach the state of a Vikasita Bharata, but to overcome the colonial mindset and take pride in our roots and a sense of duty. All this has to be brought in our indigenous way. And what more can be a resource, a source of beacon light to give us the indigenous knowledge in this regard, other than our Vedic, Samskrita, Arsha Vangmaya. So hence, again, Vedic ideas for national reconstruction is also intended in this Amrita Kala. When we say we have to remove the colonial mindset, then what is to be replaced? The Vedic Sanatana mindset has to be brought in this process of working towards national reconstruction. And again, this is evidenced by Sri Aurobindo's thoughts also. See how far deep into the future Sri Aurobindo looked into all this which is going to come. So, in 1950s, he has said, spirituality is India's only politics. Fulfillment of Sanatana Dharma, it's only Swaraj. So, India's politics henceforth and Swaraj henceforth, which are the source of national reconstruction, which are very important in the process of national reconstruction. So, it is through spirituality, Adhyatma, and also Sanatana Dharma, which have to play a role in this national reconstruction. And very interestingly, Aurobindo also says this portion of Aurobindo's statement is worth noting. I have no doubt that we have to go through the parliamentary period in order to get rid of the notion of Western democracy by seeing in practice how helpless it is to make the nations blessed. So we are passing through the parliamentary democracy. Even in his dedication speech in the Rama Mandir, our Prime Minister hinted in this regard. He said that you can refer to that talk of our Prime Minister. You can see our Modi ji said that in the cover page of our constitution there is the image of Rama, but it took several decades after the constitution came into effect to have Rama rightfully established in his place. So hence this Western idea of parliamentary democracy, what we see is we have to go through this period because all that has been thrust on us. So we now, as marked by the day before yesterday, so Prana Pratishtha, even new Prana has been instilled, so that it is time for reconstruction of our national identity, national understanding, national development, but through, as Sri Aurobindo said, through Sanatana Dharma and spirituality. In all, I believe God to be guiding us, giving the necessary experiences, preparing the necessary conditions. So hence, it is, and the Sanatana Dharma and the spirituality that India stands for is rooted, as mentioned by Dr. Venugopalan in his opening comment, that Vedo Khilo Dharma Moolam. Dharma is our Sanatana Dharma, our Adhyatma, everything is established in the Vedas, and hence we have to turn to the Vedas for ideas for national reconstruction in this very, very golden juncture of both Amrita Kala and Prana Pratisthapana. And then with regard to the potential, just now we spoke about overcoming the colonial mindset, but still because for the past decades, so many decades, We want a quote from the Western scholars also to confirm that yes, the Vedas can provide the guidance. Of course, let me connect you with that also. Some only then our mind will become happy that, oh yes, the West also considers Vedas as a source for great ideas for national reconstruction and adding great knowledge to our understanding or widening our perspective about growth, development, and other dimensions of life. See, there is an incident in the life of Max Muller. Max Muller interpreted, misinterpreted, translated so many Vedas with his own objectives and scholarliness. Of course, his scholarship was also respected by Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. When there is records which say that Swami Vivekananda visited Max Muller when he was in his Europe travel, but still. So here Max Muller, when he passed away, after the passing away of Max Muller, one Moncure Conway wrote a memoir on Max Muller. So in North American Review, published in 1900, rightly, exactly in 1900, he wrote a memoir. So where he speaks about his observation of Max Muller, he says that in one of the lectures that Max Muller was speaking about the Vedas, I had an opportunity to observe. So he describes the scene of the lecture of Max Muller on the Vedas. He was speaking about Agnimile Purohitam. So here we see he means Max Muller. I quote from Moncure Conway. He says he evoked from the oral Sanskrit phonography the ancient Aryan literature, which is the Vedas. They use the terminology Aryan literature. We say Vedas. Aryan literature and mythology, the thin metallic voices became real and cast their poetic spell not merely on the learned, but on fashionable young ladies and gentlemen in drawing rooms throughout Europe and America, adding vast estates to their minds, delivering them from the mere pinhole views of humanity and the universe to which our ancestors were limited, unquote. So this teaching that Max Muller gave and this note that Moncure Conway has made on the life of Max Muller shows that those quotes in the red, you have to see the study of the Vedas will add vast estates to our minds, not only our minds, the minds of people belonging to every civilization, delivering them from the mere pinhole view of humanity. So our view, if it is merely pinhole, oh, only a limited circle is what our life is limited to. No, our life is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is a important quotation that is oft repeated in recent times. So the same thing has been used, expressed in a different terminology and adding vast estates to the mind. All this comes from the knowledge that is evoked from the Aryan literature, Sanskrit phonography, etc. So hence, so for us, for our Manas Samadhana, we also see that the West also, see our the Prime Minister and Aurobindo, all these are enough to their quotes and their views are enough, but still the West also sees that the study of Vedic literature in the right way has the knowledge to open our minds to newer and wider and greater perspective to the humanity. This is all to reassure our Shraddha on our tradition. Now, so we have now kind of reassured ourselves that our Vedic literature, while it is used for mostly as the general participants who may not be, who may just have a general brush with the Vedas, means where the Vedas are chanted in yajnas, homas, pujas, and also in temples. No, by these quotations, now you would have just got an orientation that Vedas have great potential in national reconstruction, etc. But the point is the Vedas are very vast. Ananta vai Vedaha. That's how Taittiriya Brahmana puts it. Then, and the Vedic literature, be it the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, each of it has Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. The literature is endless. Now, we are speaking about a specific topic of national reconstruction, points on national reconstruction from the Vedas. Do we have a vision document? Do we have a kind of pointed insight or input from the Vedas? Of course, as I said, hundreds and hundreds of mantras are there, but the Vedas are also focused. While it is vast, the Vedas also are very focused. we see from the Vedas a 10-point program for national reconstruction. This can form the bedrock of any national reconstruction initiative in the current times, not only for India, for the entire humanity. Vedas are for the humanity when we say. So this document can be the foundational vision document. This one mantra from Taittiriya Samhita, 7th Kanda, 5th Prashna, the 18th Anuvaka, this one mantra has a 10-point Vedic national reconstruction program. So this can be the foundation based on which so many other dimensions can be added. What is that mantra? This is known to most Vedic scholars, but it is not seen in the light of a vision document for national reconstruction. What is the mantra? Brahman Brahmano Brahmavarchasi Jayatamasmin Rashtre Rajanya Ishabdya Shuro Maharatho Jayatam Dobdri Dhenur Bodha Nadvanashu Sapti Purandhir Yosha जिष्णुरथेष्ठा सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामे नः पर्जन्यो वर्षतु फलिन्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्ताम् योगक्षेमो नः कल्पताम्. This one mantra contains a 10-point program. So this Vedas, when we study, we cannot study it based on translations. We have to understand the Vedic mantras through the traditional commentaries. So Vedas normally are studied with the Shadangaha Vedaha Adhyetavyaha. But if not with the Shadangas, at least we have to look at with the traditional commentaries. So based on traditional commentary of both Acharya Sayana and Bhatta Bhaskara, let us slowly unravel what are the 10 important areas which the Vedas give us, which are to be focused upon for a useful, durable national reconstruction. Again, I am harking back to what our Prime Minister said during the Rama Prana Pratisthapana. We have to look for 1,000 years to come. This Prana Pratisthapana is for the next 1,000 years of the revival of the country. So these 10 points, if they are focused upon, they will give a very solid base on which we can build the civilization, or we can progress with our civilization for the next 1,000 years, because these are from the eternal Vedas. So hence, with all confidence, we can look into these 10 points. The first one is Brahman Brahmavarchasi Ajayatam. The first aspect is the Brahman, that is the knowledgeable people, especially the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, they represent the intellect of the society. So Brahmavarchasi Shrutadhyayana Sampannaha Ajayatam Sarvataha Utpadyatam. Let there be intellectuals, the Brahmanas. So let them arise from all directions. And Shrutadhyayana Sampannaha Brahmavarchasi, let them be endowed with lot of Shruta Shravana. Let them hear from many and then do their own Adhyayana. Means let them put in the hard work to study and understand. Let them also open their minds to listen to many inputs. So the first area of a national reconstruction, as evidenced by this thing, is education. So intellect is developed by education, and education which is open, means the Shruta, means we should be able to listen to the various viewpoints, and it should also make us study deeper. So hence such education is the first dimension of national reconstruction that is spoken. So we have to work on our education. If reconstruction of the nation has to happen, it has to happen based on the revival, the vision of our education. Again, our education scenario, when we look at it, most of the NCERT books and other books have been written by people with motivated ideologies. Now that education scenario has to be changed. So if Veda-based national reconstruction has to happen, the first thing is to look into the education scenario, both at the primary level and at the higher education level, which of course has been addressed to some extent through the new national education policy. There can be further inputs, further revisions which can come from the Vedic sources. So that is the first dimension of national reconstruction. The second one is Asmin Rashtre Rajanyaha Ishavyaha Shuraha Maharathaha Jayatam. The second dimension is protection of the country. See, if education is the core of the education and the development of the intellect is a foundational dimension, the very first and foundational dimension of a nation. What is the second dimension is the protection of the nation, Rajanya. So let the community, and Rajanya not only points to protection, means the king not only points to protection of the country, but also administration of the country. Shamo damas tapas shaucham shantirarjavam evacha. It is for Brahmana. Shauryam, Tejaha, Dhritihi, Dakshyam, Yuddhecha, Apalayanam, Danam, Ishwara Bhavascha, Kshatram Karma Swabhavajam. A Kshatriya stands for Shaurya, courage, Tejaha, his charisma, Dakshyam, capability, Yuddhecha, Apalayanam, not running away from war, Danam, sharing, Ishwara Bhavaha, ability to lord over and command respect. So hence, if the first dimension of national reconstruction is education, the second is defense and administration. So again, there are so many Vedic ideas in this regard. The Vedas emphasize this as the second dimension for national reconstruction. And also we see Shastrena Rakshite Rashtre Shastra Charcha Pravartate. Means when the country is well guarded, well protected, well administered, then Shastra or the development of the intellect through the various Shastric studies can happen. So education, defense and administration is the second area where we have to work on national reconstruction. And Dogdri, the third interesting dimension of national reconstruction is Dogdri Dhenuhu. Dhenuhu is the Gomata. So Dogdri, so let the Gomata or the Kamadhenu, let the cow give a lot of milk, means the cattle wealth. And it is very well known that organic agriculture and other things are possible when our Gomata, Govamsha Rakshana happens properly and we are very well nourished. Next to the mother's milk, it is the cow's milk which nourishes. So hence the cattle wealth has to be protected. And that's why we had the white revolution that happened. And rightfully, the third point of national reconstruction is a protection of Govamsha, protection of indigenous breeds, which gives us all nourishment and not getting into the Western model of mass production of mechanized creation of milk and other things. It has to come from our traditional regional breeds, so by which everyone is nourished properly. So hence Dogdri Dhenu, and cow is not only limited, Gomata is not only limited in nourishing us. So many products from cow, they also nourish the, and it is cow is a source of reverence, and also so many products. This itself is a great industry, and even medicines for cancer have been evolved through the cow research, Go Anusandhana Samsthana, which is established in Nagpur. So hence the Vedas third point for national reconstruction is Dogdri Dhenu, taking care of our cattle wealth, especially the cow. And then the fourth aspect is Vodha Nadvan. Vodha Anadvan. Anadvan refers to the ox and the bull, that it should be capable of carrying. Vodha means the capability to carry. Anadvan means the bull. So in the ancient times, the mode of a freight or transportation of goods, heavy goods, happened based on the bullock carts. So let the bulls be capable enough to carry the goods from one place to another. So in our current times, to contextualize this in the current times, the fourth important point for national reconstruction that the Vedas give is we have to take care of our goods. How we create corridors for freight, that's so that manufacturing happens and their transportation is taken care of, not only on land but also the inland waterways and also the sea. All this can be taken to be indicated by Vodha Anadvan. So for a nation to very strongly reconstruct itself, it is very essential that we have our infrastructure in terms of road and goods are very well taken care of. Means this is very insightful that how far a holistic view that the Vedas had with regard to development of a nation. So education, then defense and administration, then the cattle wealth, then the goods, then interestingly, next one is Ashuhu Saptihi. Ashuhu Saptihi. See, it is not enough if the goods are transported efficiently. People should also be able to move fast. There should be a faster mode of transportation for people. Saptihi means horse. Ashuhu means fast. Let our horses be fast. So the previous one is let our bulls be capable of carrying the load. The next one is let our horses be fast, which means the transportation, let it be quick. So time saved is time rather produced, and also our productivity increases by not merely spending time in travel. That's why ambitiously we can see our Prime Minister aiming for bullet trains. Bullet trains is not something fashionable. Already in various countries, bullet trains have come. But why not in India? And it's not merely a statement of a progress or a symbol of progress. When transportation is quicker, you waste lesser time in travel and then reach our destinations and be more productive. And this vision has already been presented in the Vedas when they say Ashuhu Saptihi. Let the human transportation, the means for human transportation be quicker. So then the next point, so much for a nation to reconstruct itself, and then it comes to the people. Nation is not merely about goods and travel and education. It's all about the people. And who is more important in the country? Purandhihi Yosha. So the women are a very important integral part of the society, very important. They play a very important role. So the women Yosha should be Purandhihi. Purandhihi, this adjective Purandhi is given. Sayanacharya says Puravasibihi Jayate Rupavati Ityarthaha. So let the women, let their beauty, their aesthetics and elegance be protected. So that is the important aspect which is mentioned here. The elegance and beauty and the aesthetic element of in the society, and all the art and culture and the fine arts, everything basically come. Kirtihi, Shrihi, Vakcha Narinam. Even Bhagavan Krishna says that. So all the finer arts connected to aesthetics and other things come from women. So let them flourish. Purandhihi Yosha Rupavati Tyarthaha. And there is one more interpretation from Vachaspatya on what Purandhihi means. Puram Gehastham Janam Dharayati Palayati. So let the women in our country, let them also be the one who take care of the family. See, taking care of the family here does not mean, see, here the word Puram Geham. Pura means the city or the town. Puram also is interpreted as Geha and the house. So let them be the administrators. Let them administer the country. Let them administer the house. How should they administer? The Vedas themselves say Samrajni Shvashure Bhava, Samrajni Shvashruvam Bhava, Nanaandari Samrajni Bhava, Samrajni Adhi Devrushu. So this is the Vedic mantra which is chanted in every marriage. Some people ridicule what this Vedic mantras are there in this and they portray only a portion of, or wrongly interpret the Vedic mantras that are chanted in the homas, and they ridicule the entire hallowed tradition of Vedic rituals, including the Vivaha. In the same Vivaha mantra, we chant this Samrajni Shvashure Bhava. Let women be the sovereign authority of the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, the brother-in-law. Let her rule over everyone. So let her administer, let her take care of the society, not as a person who is stuck within the family, but with all the royal authority. Let her govern, manage, administer. So Purandhihi Yosha. So it has two dimensions. Let the aesthetic beauty be expressed through the women, and all the fine arts let it flourish, and then let them also be the great administrators of the house. Let them be the one. Grihini grihamuchyate. The house is defined by how the grihini is. So hence, let them hold together the family, which is the foundational unit, not only of the village or the city, the entire country. So in national reconstruction, the Vedas count the role of women both as administrators and also those who express the beauty in our life. And then the next dimension of the national reconstruction that comes through is youth. So just like women empowerment, we think that these are all new thoughts, that oh, these are words of women empowerment and youth empowerment. All these come from the current day intelligentsia or academia. No, women empowerment, immediately the next one comes youth empowerment, where the Vedas say Purandhiriyosha Jishnu Ratheshtha Sabheyo Yuva. So let the Yuva, youth, both boys and girls, how should they be? Jishnu. Let them have a desire to win. Let them be ambitious. And let that ambitiousness, let them not be distracted by the so many attractions that are there. Let them have a particular ambition for life, and then let them have a burning desire in them to win. So that's youth empowerment. When you speak of youth empowerment, it is not giving them dole over dole, money over money, just to make them dependent on the government. So here youth empowerment, as indicated by Jishnu, is to light a fire in the heart of the youth to be ambitious and desirous to win in whichever field of knowledge that they take up. And then a ratheshtha, let the yuva be ratheshtha. Rathesthitaha means let the youth travel. See, let us not be limited. So empowerment of youth means to make people, especially the youth, to see many places. We should not be confined. See, as we travel, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir, in Tamil we say, one should travel. As one travels, one expands the mind. Swami Vivekananda, as a youth, he traveled as a parivrajaka in the entire country. Then he gave a vision for the country. So is the case of so many such people who were parivrajakas. So hence, it is very essential for the youth to travel. The Kashi, Tamil Sangamam and other things which are happening. So people should not be boxed into, oh, I belong to the south, you belong to the north. Such limitations or boxing or kind of confining people to certain confines should not happen. There should be free travel of people, especially the youth should see so many things. Seeing is believing, seeing is understanding, seeing is getting inspired. So hence a youth should be ratheshtha, should travel. And this is youth empowerment. Youth should be empowered to travel. Youth should be empowered to have positive desires. Sabheya. Yuva should also be sabheya. Sabhayam yogyaha sabheya. Means worth, confident about his knowledge so that he can stand before an assembly and deliver. So not feeling oneself weak and meek. No, afraid, trembling. A youth should never be there. Youth should be confident enough, knowledgeable enough, courageous enough to stand before a gathering and deliver his address. So this is youth empowerment. And this is an integral element in national reconstruction. Jishnu, Ratheshtha, Sabheya. See, in contrast to any other element that is mentioned so far, 3 adjectives are given only to Yuva. So hence, then, and Asya Yajamanasya Veeraha Jayatam. So such Yuva, let children, let such youths be born in this country. Veeraha, he should also be courageous. So means not, and the Agniveer system which was brought, even the youth can go and join the army at a very earlier age itself. So hence Veeratvam, Sabheyatvam, Ratheshtha and Jishnu. So ambitious, traveling, knowledgeable to speak before an assembly, and then Veera means ready to contribute for the protection of the nation. So these 4 qualities should be there, and if they are there, then he is a right youth empowered. And especially many youngsters have gathered here. We know, and again referring back to the Prime Minister's speech, our country is most populous, has the most population of youth. Youth population is maximum at this point of time. So youth empowerment in terms of these 4 qualities enlisted should happen. And that is the Vedic idea, and this is a unique idea. And this literature is 5,000 years old. 5,000 years ago, they have seen that this is the idea of youth empowerment, which will strengthen the nation, which will help in national reconstruction. So that was the seventh point of the 10-point program. In the eighth point, we can see nikame naf parjanyo varshatu. Nikame asmakam yada yada apeksha tada tada. Whenever we desire, let the rains happen. So I desire, let the rain happen. So when will rains be in plenty? When we respect the ecology. Sustainable. So the word sustainability, we consider this to be a modern term, current term. If you require rain at the time that you desire, then you should respect the ecology. You have to develop systems and mechanisms in all fields of knowledge in such a way that it is sustainable and it doesn't hamper or kind of intrude with the systems of the society. Then you will get rains at your desire, at your will. This is one dimension of Nikame. So eco-friendly living, sustainable way of living, developing methods of way of living in terms of respecting the nature, that comes through. So be it the solar alliance or various other, and reducing the carbon footprint. Recently, I heard a government data that India has exceeded its commitment to reduce the carbon footprint. And so we are rightfully in the process of becoming a Vikasita Bharat. So hence, in this point, so it's for national reconstruction, the Vedas opine that it's very essential that we respect the ecology, and yajna is a process where idam na mama means the more I take, more than what I take, let me give it back. So only when that consumeristic attitude is overcome, and then this attitude of annam bahukurvita nakanchana vasatau pratyachakshita, produce more food so that it can be distributed. Turn no one away from your place who has sought refuge. All this can happen only when there is an eco-friendly way of living, and that sustainability is a key mantra that has already been given. And then phalinyona oshadhaya pacyantam, the ninth dimension of national reconstruction that the Vedas propose is a plentiful agriculture. Phalinyaha bahuphala yuktaha oshadhayaha pacyantam. Let the agricultural produce be in plenty. How can agricultural produce be in plenty? Not by DDT and BHC. Means DDT and BHC are fertilizers which have been used over decades, and they have poisoned our lands. Many people are very well aware. So hence, organic way of doing it, and that phalinyaha oshadayaha pacyantam, this can happen by adopting the organic means and agriculture. While normally when we speak about national reconstruction and development, people only look at industry, but the Vedas are kind of, they know that it should be comprehensive and holistic and not to be lopsided. See, in our current idea of development, we ourselves can observe the development has become city-centric, and the villages have been neglected. If you want a bright future, move to Mumbai, move to Chennai, move to Delhi, or move to such metropolitans. No, life is there in the villages. So agriculture and infrastructure for agriculture, and agriculture in an organic manner, that if it is promoted, then development will be equitable. Or else it will be the clusters that flourish and the rest are neglected, and even those clusters will become overcrowded. We see there is a lot of pressure in Mumbai, and in Bengaluru where I reside, traffic is a great problem. Why? Because of the fundamental idea that growth happens only in pockets where industries and businesses are there, but not in agriculture. So this lopsided view has created all this chaos in the society. But when the emphasis is equally on the agriculture, especially in an agrarian country like ours, so then the development will be equitable, balanced, and comprehensive and holistic. And that is pointed out by phalinyaha naha oshadayaha pacyantam. Let the agriculture be taken very good care of in this point. And then the final point is yoga kshemo nah kalpatam. Yoga Kshemaha means yoga and Kshema. Two dimensions of life are very essential. Let all become rich. Alabdhasya labhaha yogaha. Earlier I have not earned, let me earn. So let all become possessors of wealth that they had not achieved. But the second important dimension is Kshema. Kshemaha means labdhasya paripalanam kshemaha. Savings are an important dimension. So while we earn, let us all see when the previous 9 factors of are taken care of, everyone will earn. Just like in Rama Rajya, the shloka that I uttered, sarvam muditam eva asit. Everyone will be happy and rich, prosperity, wealth will come. But we should not squander our wealth. So when the society is developed, naturally the per capita income will increase and everyone will be comfortable and they will be earning a lot. But so yoga will happen if the previous 9 factors are taken care of. But the Vedas are very particular, which characterizes the Indian economy, that is a kshema, that is a savings. So even when a severe crisis hit economies across the world, India could stabilize because of the savings. Savings in terms of money, savings in terms of gold, our reserves. So that characterizes our culture, and that input comes from the Vedas themselves. Yoga Kshema. So Kshema is important. Kshema also means health. So, Kshema not only in terms of wealth, Kshema should labdhasya paripalanam. What we have attained is yoga, means this bhagyam of being born, fortune of being born as human beings, then we should also protect our health and well-being. The same thing has been mentioned in the Vedas elsewhere also. Kushalanna pramaditavyam. Among the mantropadesha for a student, it is also said, Kushalat na pramaditavyam. Ayur arogyakaram yat tataha na pramaditavyam, means one should take very good care of one's health. So it is not only wealth that is important for life. For a national reconstruction, health should also be taken care of, and health should also come from indigenous sources. Of course, allopathy is a very good source of healing. Along with that, the Ayush systems which are indigenous to the culture, that is Ayurveda, Yoga, then Siddha, then Soarigpa, all these are indigenous to our culture. Let us change our lifestyle so that and orient it. So again, going back to what Prime Minister said, Kshema, overcoming the colonial mindset. Oh, health can be taken care of only when we go to the hospitals. No, you have the Ayurvedic physicians, you have the yoga practitioners. So, Kshema Paripalanam and yajnas, performance of yajnas also bring in health and well-being. So, hence, taking that through, so Daiva Vyapashraya, Yukti Vyapashraya, all these are mentioned. So, the Kshema dimension should also be taken care of. This is the 10-point program for national reconstruction that the Vedas say. See, these 10 points, etaihi dashabhihi mantraihi brahmavarchanamakam homam kuryat. This is the prescription. That is, these should not merely remain as documents. We have to perform homa with this mantra. See, what is the meaning of performing homa with the mantra? Means people gather together, they assert, kind of remind themselves. When we perform a yoga with yaga or a ritual with this mantra, what happens is we understand that these are the aspects that lead to prosperity, well-being, and reconstruction of a nation which is arising from the ashes of the colonial rule. So when homas and rituals are performed based on these mantras, 10 aspects, then collectively we are reminded that this is the goal for our national reconstruction. So hence, homa is not merely burning things in the fire. So it is about a very strong reassertion of these fundamental principles. So the mantras in homa, our orientation towards homa, puja, yajna also should change. It is an occasion to reassert, kind of remind ourselves in the presence of divinity that these are our national goals. So asmin rashtre, in this country, let all these things happen. So you can see that I will just wind up in another 5 minutes. So we can see that this one mantra in Taittiriya Samhita itself is comprehensive. in laying down the document, the core blueprint for the development and reconstruction of the nation. But this is not the only source from the Vedas. This is not the only mantra that speaks about the national reconstruction. There is a book by Glimpses of the Vedic Nation by Balashastri Haradas, who wrote the book on the glimpses of Vedic nation in Marathi. Then Kanchi Acharya Jayendra Saraswati Swamiji, he asked him to translate it into English. So Kamakoti Prakashanam, this is a Kamakoti Prakashanam where he speaks about various aspects of nation, not only limited to the previous mantra that I stated. There he delves into the entire Vedic literature and brings about the higher ideology that a nation should possess, the education, women in Vedic age, the Paramatman, the spiritual goals that a nation as a whole should aspire to raise, the idea of motherland, Chaturvarnya, Vedic Samiti and Sabhas, which represent democracy, and then the army, war and strategy, and then profession and Vedic economics, and of course the conquest of the world. So hence, I just gave a glimpse or a taste of one mantra which is comprehensive, which gives us a 10-point program, but the entire Vedic literature is available to explore more, and which has been done to some extent, but it may not be complete. And aspects of it has been done, but lot remains to be done to extract. But as I said, this is not the only, again, the Vedic lore again is not the only source for ideas for national reconstruction. The Ramayana itself is considered as a manifestation of the Vedas. Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharathatmaje Vedaha Pracetasadasita Ramayanatmana. So hence the manifestation, Ramayana is nothing but the manifestation of Vedas, and all that Rama did is Vedic only. Ikshvaku Prabhavaha Ramo Nama Janaishritaha Niyatatma Mahaviryaha Dutiman Dhritiman Vashi, all the exemplary qualities of an individual. So man making, that Swami Vivekananda speaks, by man making the nation is made. What are the sterling qualities that an individual should possess, by which the nation itself again is influenced, all the youths are influenced. What are the qualities? So by man making, that comes through Ramayana and qualities of Rama, that is also Vedic thought for national reconstruction. Again, just giving another sample, Bhagavad Gita is also another Vedic text only. We see Sarva Upanishado Gava, Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha, Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. So the milk that has come is Gita. What is the source of the milk? Upanishadaha. Upanishads are integral part of the Vedas. All the teachings of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all that is also Vedic. So by that also, the society is well informed, the society is dedicated towards a higher cause. So teachings from the Bhagavad Gita also should be taken when we think about Vedic inputs, Vedic ideas for national reconstruction. I have only mentioned a few. That is the Veda, the Vedic literature, Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita. The Vedic tradition as such is very vast. The Ashtadasha Vidyasthanas are there. 18 disciplines of knowledge are there. That in itself shows the diversity of knowledge which existed, from which inputs can be taken for national reconstruction. What I provided is only an expert summary, means very, very limited summary. So going by this potential that the Vedas offer, Manu, way back, he has stated, Senapatyancha, Rajyancha, Danda Netrutvamevacha, Sarva Lokadhipatyancha, Veda Shastravid Arhati. The one who is very well informed by the Vedic and Shastric knowledge, what can he do? He can become a Senapati, commander of an army, and then Rajyancha, he can be a very good ruler of the country. Danda Netrutvamevacha, he can even march against an enemy. And then Sarva Lokadhipatyancha, he can also become the sovereign of the all world. So Veda Shastra Vidarhati means it is not that every citizen of the country should become Veda Shastra Vida and then lead a Vedic way of life, so that the dream of every Indian as guided by the Vedas is Vishwagurutva, and that can be attained when these inputs, not merely stating that the Vedas will lead us, but these inputs, the glimpses of which I have given, should be taken seriously. I will leave you with one final quotation which says, again, the Prime Minister and the Education Ministry would have conveyed this, on the Vikasita Bharata. So we can no more call ourselves as a developing nation or a third world country. No, we have to see ourselves as a developed nation, and this is the opportune moment. With regard to that, the Prime Minister's quote should be seen here. History gives every country a period, and I quote, this is the quotation from the Prime Minister when he spoke about the Vikasita Bharata. He says, history gives every country a period when it advances its development journey manifold. In a way, this is the Amrita Kala of that country. This is the golden age for India. This is the period in India's history when the country is going to take a quantum leap. There are examples of many such countries around us which have developed themselves by taking similar quantum leap in a given time. That is why I say this is the right time for India as well. We have to take advantage of every moment of this golden age. We should not waste even a single moment. So hence, even those who are well informed in the Vedas and Shastras, it is not time to waste. It is for more deeper study, serious exploration, and translating into workable solutions towards the national reconstruction. As Krishna would say in Bhagavad Gita, Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Jnanam is theoretical, Vijnanam is Anubhavatmakam Jnanam, as Acharya Shankara would put it. So what can be experienced from that knowledge for a developed country? So it is the right time. So hence this philosophical day should not means the word philosophy means love for knowledge. So hence it's not merely love for knowledge that out of for which we have gathered. That love for knowledge should convert into a vision. So that's why in our tradition we don't use the word philosophy, it is a darshanam. It shows the way ahead for a prosperous, happy, healthy, and a powerful and strong existence in this world. And hence that guidance can come from the Vedas, and hence both the scholars in the field of Samskrita, Veda, philosophy should look into such insights and provide it for the national reconstruction, and also all others, the public in general, participants in general, people in various disciplines also can come and partake the wisdom of Vedas and develop insights in their own disciplines and work towards our common goal of Vikasita Bharata. In that direction, I hope this talk would have given some pointers, and I thank ICPR, I thank Shastra University for giving me this opportunity to share a few thoughts in this direction. Thank you very much.